when you're asking, like, what fucks me up about traveling is realizing this big ass country is not the same. It's not the same place.
No,
this is not one. It's maybe one landmass.
Right.
This is not the same place, guys. You can
Right.
fucking going upstate to fucking Connecticut. I'm like, oh, y'all different. This is.
I don't know if you've watched any of the previous episodes, but I managed to go. What were you gonna say? You haven't been able to peep anything, or
no? I definitely have been.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nah, I say that because I go on a spiel about nation states usually. You know, like every conversation we have, and it's like to that point about like how goofy the nation state model is. It's like the idea that there's this one homogenous like mass that's this monolith. Right, yeah. You see that flag right there? That's everyone in North America. That is us. Those stars and those stripes.
Yeah, that. I live in Bushwick. I don't think Bushwick is the same neighborhood.
Right.
No, bro.
New York City. Like, it's like really.
Bushwick is like.
The more you scale it up, the more you go up in that satellite and look, it's like
Bushwick and Astoria could be completely different parts of the world.
Right. I mean, the part of going deeper into Queens,
the part
every
of
layer
Bushwick,
of Queens.
Bushwick itself.
The part of Bushwick we live in versus this part of Bushwick, it's two different.
We don't live in the same neighborhood, but on paper,
so
we live in the same neighborhood.
Right.
And I'm like, this is not. If it really does fuck me up. That's how you know there's no. It's funny because it's almost like this like cosmic thing you gotta wrap your head around. There is no borders. The world's big as fuck, but your world is really just this small community.
We just need the world to be like a Skyrim map with no borders. It's just like, you found a new area.
How funny was
Yes, let's talk about the town. Why are we going all the way up, zooming out to a fucking continent?
Right.
Damn,
And there's a one government for a whole ass. Are you crazy?
This nigga made me snap like I was at a poetry reading. Inadvertently, I was like, I caught myself. I was like,
That's real shit. How is it? How is it? And I know, like, relative to other places, like if you compare the U.S. government to the French government, for example, and like I have conversations with people in other countries, and they look at the U.S. and they're like, well, it's a federation, a confederation of states, technically, you know, and it's like that's a relatively decentralized thing compared to some other places around the world or whatever. But it's like, even at the level of the state, New York State, you know what I mean? And the amount of people that are in these positions, it's such a small amount of people, too, supposedly representing millions of people. Right. That is 50, insane.
Andrew Cuomo, no nigga with nipple piercings.
You shouldn't even be able to name, it shouldn't come down to people, that I can count on one hand that are quote unquote representing millions of people anywhere, any context.
What do we need representatives for?
Right, we don't.
The policy. Why can't I vote on policy? Yes. Why can't I just be like, I agree with that. I want that one.
Right.
I want to vote on a
direct
person.
democracy.
What the fuck?
Right. That's the difference. That's the difference between direct democracy and representative democracy. Representative democracy isn't democracy. Like, that's what I'm always struggling to like explain to people sometimes. It's like,
Founding fathers were very explicit about that. There's too much democracy in here. There's actually way too much democracy. We do own all the land, and most people don't. So if we let these guys vote, they're going to vote to not have land ownership.
Again, going back to that,
it's built as a corporation.
Going back to that thing with the government and the state and the versus the billionaires or whatever.
The billionaires.
That's the whole thing.
Representatives are clearly there to be like, if we get like you just said, if we let these niggas vote, then they're gonna fucking vote for what's in their interest. But if we put somebody in between them that we can buy, they're gonna vote for what's in the corporation.
Right. And here's the thing. I gotta say this. The fucking, I'll say like left liberal, like social democrat Bernie types, the dangerous illusion that they still hold up, and it's like it comes from a good place with some people, but it's a dangerous illusion. They frame it as corruption.
Yeah.
But corruption implies
that there's
it implies that the system could work.
Yeah.
No, but it's like, no, what you're calling corruption is literally baked into the system that you're talking about here.
Right.